I purchased 7 polishes from Daily Hues nail lacquer. They're not an entire collection or anything, they're just individual ones that I picked up on my own. So today I will be doing live swatches of all 7. The first polish is a light blue holographic, and this one is called Urea. This one does seem to want to kind of pull up on the sides a little bit. It is pretty thin. I mean, it's a good formula. It's smooth, it's easy to apply. And it is fairly opaque for just one coat. And here is 2 coats of Urea. The second coat really not darkens up the color, but it does make it fully opaque. And it adds a little bit more of that linear holographic sparkle to the nail. And this one does dry fairly fast too. The second polish is a sort of cranberry red linear holographic polish. This one is a little less holographic than Urea was, but it does still have that rainbow sparkle to it. And this one is called Willa. So here's 1 coat of Willa on the bare nail. And it looks like this one will also only require 2 coats. That first coat is just a little bit thin. I can still see some of my nail in a few places. And the formula on this one is just like the last one. It's nice and thin to work with, but it doesn't seem to want to be pulling up on the sides of my nail like the other one did. And here is 2 coats of Willa. A second coat does make this one fully opaque. I probably could have made my first coat of polish a little bit thicker and actually made this one opaque in 1 coat. The next polish is yet another holographic. This one is a bright green called Fiona. So here is 1 coat of Fiona. Already this is a really nice bright sort of lime green color. And it does have quite a bit of sparkle to it, but it doesn't really have a lot of that holographic sparkle. And this one is just a little bit patchy on the first coat. I can see a few streaks, especially there on my ring finger, but it is also, like the other two, nice and thin. It's got a great formula. It's easy to work with. And this is actually a little bit more green than it's showing up on camera. In the viewfinder, it looks almost like it's a little more yellow, but it's actually more of a sort of lime green in person. So here is 2 coats of Fiona, and a second coat does make it look a little more green than yellow. Next up is Eve, and this is just a gorgeous, crazy holographic silver polish. It does look like it might be maybe more of a glitter topper than meant to be worn alone, but I'm curious as to what it looks like by itself, so that's how I'm going to try it. And here is 1 coat of Eve. It definitely is meant to be a topper because it has almost no coverage. This is nice and thin, and it's easy to work with though. You still get a decent amount of glitter on your brush. Actually, a little too much for one nail. I didn't even have to re-dip between my ring finger and pinky. And it is super sparkly already. So here is 2 coats of Eve. So this one definitely, I don't think it's really buildable. I don't think you could really layer on multiple coats to make it opaque. You could sponge it on and make it opaque that way. So I'm actually just going to leave this one at 2 coats and move on to the next. The next polish is Noelle, and I'm assuming that this will be pretty much just like its silver companion. I'm assuming it is meant to be more of a topper than an actual polish meant to be worn alone, but it does have that same crazy, gorgeous, hollow bomb sparkle to it. So here is 1 coat of Noelle. And just like Eve, this one is very sheer. It's clearly meant to be a glitter topper, but it is smooth to apply. It's nice and thin, and you do get a fair amount of glitter with just 1 brush load. So here is 2 coats of Noelle on the bare nail. This one, again, you could sponge it on to make it fully opaque, but it's really not going to be buildable on its own with multiple coats. It would just become, it would be too thick. It wouldn't be worth it. So there is 2 coats of Noelle. Next is this absolutely gorgeous blue called Selena, and I must have been in a sparkly mood when I bought these because every single one of them has glitter in it. This one, it doesn't have a linear holographic, but it almost looks in the bottle like it might have a touch of a scattered holographic. And I think when I saw it, it actually reminded me of Drip Drop Nail Paint's Ahoy Amy. And I absolutely love that one. So I think that's kind of what inspired me to get this one. And here are the two side by side. They're both just super sparkly. The Daily Hues is quite a bit darker. It's a little more of a royal blue, and the Drip Drop is kind of almost more of a dusty blue. So here is one coat of Selena on the bare nail. And this is just a really pretty blue with so much sparkle in it. It is just a tad patchy on the first coat, but again, just like all the others, it's nice and thin to work with. It's easy to apply. The color of this one is just gorgeous. I love these types of blues, and I love all that sparkle. The scattered holographic that I think I might be able to see in the bottle, I really can't see it on the nail. I just see a lot of sparkle. Mostly, I think mostly a silver sparkle. I really don't see a lot of rainbow sparkle coming off. So here is 2 coats of Selena, and that makes this one fully opaque. It really deepens up that blue and adds more sparkle. And this one also seemed to dry pretty quick. Really, all of them have. I don't know so much about the silver and gold toppers. I didn't let them dry or anything, not fully. But this and the first 3, what were they? Urea, Willa, and Fiona. They don't dry super glossy. They do dry slightly more matted, but they're fairly smooth and they dry fairly quick. So there is 2 coats of Selena. I think this one might be my favorite out of all of them that I got. It is showing up a little more bright blue on camera, but in person it's almost more of a royal blue. It's got a little more of a, I guess, a purple tone to it in person, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I love this one. Last but not least, this one I believe is pronounced Priya. It's a color changing polish. It's a purple jelly base. It's actually a great purple. It's coming off a lot more blue on camera. Full of pink square, silver heart, blue hexagon glitters. There's some string glitters in there, and then just a bunch of micro glitters. And so here is 1 coat of Priya. It is very sheer and you don't get a lot of glitter with each brush load of polish. I'm not getting any of those chunkier glitters. And normally I would, with a polish like this, I would turn it upside down and let it sit on the cap for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so before I use it. But unfortunately the caps are too rounded on these bottles and it won't sit on the cap, so I can't let these big glitters sink to the top of the bottle to where they're easier to fish out when I'm trying to apply the polish. So this one does dry really fast. I just barely got done painting my pinky and I'm already ready to start on my next coat of polish. In the bottle it is a grape blue, but it's turning more of or a grape purple I mean. It is turning more of a sort of periwinkle blue once I put it on the nail. I tried fishing out glitters and stirring this one with an orange wood stick, but it just wouldn't work, so here it is at 4 coats. Overall, I'm really happy with the 7 that I picked up. I've never tried this brand before, so I wasn't sure what to expect. They all, for the most part, really had good formulas, especially the holographic ones, and all of them really were easy to apply. They were smooth, they all dried fairly quick. I do wish that the silver and gold glitter toppers had been more opaque, but I can always sponge those on, so that's not an issue. And they are so crazy holographic that they're definitely worth that extra effort. I would like to begin making more videos, so this just kind of seemed like something easy to jump in. But if you have any requests or suggestions of maybe a nail art tutorial that you would like for me to make, or a swatch video or something like that, please let me know and I will see what I can do. I'm hoping for all of 2015 to post at least one video per month. That is my goal.